Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we've got the new costume Atlanteia in the game for the Untold Tales summon. We're going to go into a hero review of her to see if she is worth leveling up if you do happen to pull her. We're also going to take a look at the other two featured heroes, and there's also a secret summon, Melancholia, in the game for the next 2.5 days. We're going to take a look at her card as well, and take a look at the odds of pulling her. But real quick, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can see my future videos, and getting into this Untold summon portal, taking a look at costume Atlanteia. This is her costume version. Her regular version is a sorcerer where she kind of looks like this angelic ocean figure, and this is more of a sexy devilish look for Atlanteia that Empires and Puzzles gave her. From an overall power perspective, she is great. She's got 1123 power, 1172 attack, 1212 shield, and 1780 health. If we were to take a look at her max stats, she got 1714 attack, 1574 shield, and 2504 health. Honestly, for a hero like this, I would rather have a higher shield and health than that attack because she's more of a support hero, but obviously nothing you can really do about that. Let's take a look at her special. Her first charge is all enemies receive corrosive frost for 4 turns. The corrosive frost deals 228 frost damage and lowers the target's attack by -7% each turn. Now, most specials where it's worded like that, it's usually the frost damage over that amount of turns. Remember, that's 228 frost each turn for 4 turns. The caster steals 27% of the generated mana from all enemies over 4 turns. This effect cannot be cleansed, but it gets removed if the caster is defeated. The first charge in the Changing Tides heroes is 8 tiles, so that's equivalent to a fast mana speed. The second charge is average speed, so that's going to be 10 tiles. In most scenarios with your troops, you can get that down to 9 tiles. All enemies receive corrosive frost for 4 turns. The corrosive frost deals 328 frost damage and lowers the target's attack by -15% each turn. The caster steals 30% of generated mana from all enemies over 4 turns. This effect cannot be cleansed, but it gets removed if the caster is defeated. If we were to click on the max preview, the amount of frost does go up to 334 damage each turn on the first charge, and 479 frost damage each turn if you had her double limit broken. For passives, of course, Atlanteia is part of the Nightmares of Atlantis family and has a 50 or 75% chance to cast -10% mana generation for 3 turns on an enemy who deals special skill damage to this character. If the special skill defeats this character, the chance is increased to 75 or 100%. And depending on how many Atlantis family members you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, they will get 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25% defense. Taking a look at their other passives, they have the effects on special skill, has a 50% chance to perform the following actions when this character casts their special skill. Deals 80% damage to all enemies, and the caster gets plus 19% mana generation for 2 turns. And new into the game for this second passive is Resists Insanity. This character has innate resistance against insanity. So all those secret heroes that give insanity to your allies, this is going to resist that completely. You don't need a special. This is just a regular passive that's going to be throughout the entire battle, just for Atlanteia, obviously. And we've also got the new war type, which is going to inflict 10 insanity on every single character every 5 turns. So obviously Atlanteia is going to be immune to that effect. So the $1 million question, if you were to pull Atlanteia, do you level her up? I know it's cliche to say that it depends on your roster, but it really is going to depend on your roster. If you want a good support hero that's going to decrease mana generation for your enemies, then she's going to be really useful. That frost damage, if you can combine that with any type of hero that has an extra percentage damage, then that's going to be a big factor as well. And the passive that resists insanity is kind of hard to pass up, honestly. Personally, if I were to pull her, she would be on the bench behind quite a few heroes. I've got Toon Richard that I'm working on right now. I've also got a second Nautica that I'm thinking about leveling up. Let me know what you guys think of Atlanteia, but she's definitely probably one of the least desirable out of all the Untold Tales heroes. Now, take that with a grain of salt because all of the Untold Tales heroes are really, really good. All right, let's take a look at the other featured heroes. Probably the best of the 3 is this one right here, Costume Medea. This is her costume version, the fighter class. Her regular version is a ranger. I definitely like the fighter class better than the ranger version. For base stats, they have 1158 attack, 1116 shield, and 2016 health. If we were to look at their max stats, 1695 attack, 1508 shield, and 2733 health. For their special, their first charge, which is going to be 8 tiles, is deals 355% damage to the target and nearby enemies. The target automatically casts Shifting Mindless Attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of a turn during 3 turns. When this effect is triggered, it shifts to the hit ally and the duration is refreshed. The target and nearby enemies get minus 45% decrease for any healing received for 3 turns. And then their second charge, which is that average speed of 10 tiles, deals 450% damage to the target and nearby enemies. The target automatically casts Shifting Mindless Attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of a turn during 4 turns. And when this effect is triggered, it shifts to the hit ally and that duration is refreshed. The target and nearby enemies get minus 85% decrease for any healing received for 4 turns. Her Ether power is Special Boost. That's going to give plus 30% damage for 6 turns. And of course, Medea has the same passives as Atlanteia, especially this Resist Insanity is going to be super helpful against those secret heroes and also when we get to that Insanity War. Personally, I would love to pull Medea's costume. She's a hard hitter. Resist Insanity has that Shifting Mindless Attack. Definitely a great hero. And then the third featured hero in this portal is LaSalle. For LaSalle's base stats, they have 1100 attack, 717 shield, and 1841 health. For their max stats, they've got 1622 attack, 1326 shield, and 2583 health. For their first charge of their special skill, deals 375% damage to the target, summons a Sea Cavalry Fiend for the target. The Fiend damages the enemy with 27% attack every turn. The Sea Cavalry Fiend absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed health equal to 15% of its owner's max health, and the Sea Cavalry Fiend generates a clone of itself to nearby enemies after every turn. The second charge deals 475% to the target, summons that Fiend with 42% attack every turn this time, and the Fiend absorbs 30% of its owner's max health and then disappears, and of course it creates a clone of itself to nearby enemies after every turn. LaSalle is probably, again, one of the other lesser desirable heroes out of the Untold Tales. If we were to compare them to Spartoy, another Untold Tales hero, they automatically deal fiends to every single enemy right away, and they attack all, so LaSalle is just not that great of a hero in my opinion. If you were to pull them, they're decent. They've also got that Resist Insanity, so that is definitely a factor. Also, their Ether power is damage reduction. If you were to level them up to 90, they're going to get minus 10% damage for 6 turns. The Untold Tale portal has some of the best heroes in the game, but personally, I would wait till there are more costumes of the Untold Tales heroes. The last thing you want to do is pull a hero that doesn't have a costume yet and not be able to get that Resist Insanity, because the Resist Insanity only applies to the costumed heroes of the Untold Tales event. If we go to one of the other heroes in that portal that does not have a costume yet, see if I can try to find one. Of course, we are already, here we go. So if you look at Ultrax, Ultrax does not have that passive. If we were to look at Spartoy, Spartoy does not have that passive either. So that is definitely one of the big draws to those heroes. And of course, the costume bonus, having that higher attack, shield, and health. If you did want to do some pulls, of course, you've got a chance to pull that secret hero that is available for a couple days, Melancholia. So if you click on this, you're not going to be able to see what their stats or special is, but let me pull up an image of them and we'll take a look and see about this hero. But first, if we click on the... It doesn't say what the pull rate is for this secret hero, but in the past, it's always been 0.1%. Actually, I think if we go to the Untold Tales summon and click on the information here, yep, it does say secret hero Melancholia has a 0.1% chance of being drawn. So I don't know if I would do pulls in the Untold Tales portal just to have a 0.1% chance of that hero, but let's take a look at them anyway in case if you are lucky enough to pull them. All right, so Melancholia is a purple hero. Their base stats has 1023 attack, 1083 shield, and 1921 health. They are slow mana speed, and they're going to revive all allies with 70% health and 50 insanity. All allies are going to get plus 74% chance against special skills for 5 turns, and if any ally except the caster is defeated in 5 turns, all enemies receive 400 damage. This also inflicts 55 insanity on the caster. So definitely an interesting hero with the revive all at 100% and then 70% health for them, but they're going to get 50 insanity. It does not appear that that insanity gets applied to any hero who is not defeated already. So you can try to get rid of some of that insanity by healing with some of your allies that were already alive. 100% heal rate for 70% health, though, is pretty good if you ask me. If I were to pull her, honestly, I would probably level her up. She would be a great reviver to have on my team. Let me know if you decided to do any pulls in this Untold Tales portal, but that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.